Hello and welcome back to Galgorm Hall for this May update of 2018. This will probably be a little bit of a shorter video this month, as an awful lot of my time has been spent building the bridges for the branch line section of the layout. That's going to be covered a little bit on this video. I also have a couple of new purchases to show you in a little new section that I'm sort of trying to develop. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the Kadee couplings, which I highlighted upon last month. So hope you enjoy the video. If you do, please comment, please like, and if you really like the video, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. So here's the May update for 2018. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so as you can see, some of the scenic work has started in this corner of the layout. I really haven't done an awful lot this month. Well, it doesn't look like I've done an awful lot, but what I have been working on are the bridges. The first one is complete, as you can see here, and if you want to see more information on that, click on the link on the right hand side now, and that will take you to the second part of a two-part series on how I went about building this and painting it. At this stage now, it has been glued and bedded into place. The ballast has been laid on the track. I still have to weather that ballast, but it's down, and I've also done a little bit of the plaster work to the left hand side of that bridge. I was itching to get started on it, and I just wanted to sort of refamiliarize myself with the process of working with it. So the method I used was each of the cells was stuffed with newspaper, compacted down. The plaster cloth was wet, dampened down and laid across in strips, left to dry, and then there was some brown poster paint applied to the top of that. And it just means when it comes to laying the static grass and the flocks at a later stage, if there's any sort of gaps in that material, well, at least you're not seeing the whiteness, the stark whiteness of the plaster. So since doing that, I've been working on the other bridge, and we'll just turn the camera here now so we can have a look at this. So this will be the road bridge going under the main line. I'll just move the wee truck out of the way, and as you can see, I've gone with a similar sort of design as I did with the other bridge, but in this case here it's going to have a plate girder type construction spanning across the top of it. I had initially thought that I would do a similar brick arch, but I felt that the span was too wide, and there was also going to be an issue with allowing traffic to pass underneath, so it seemed more sensible to actually to create a plate girder bridge instead. So as I say, the abutments and the standing walls have been completed, and this all just needs painted in the same way that I've done the previous one, and I still have to build the plate girders. I was initially going to use the one of the ratio packs, but I've decided that I will scratch build this instead. I think it'll just maybe make a bit more of a bespoke structure for this. It'll follow the similar process that I did on my diorama. Let me just show you that again. So this bridge was all built from scratch as well, including the plate girder bridge, and that was all just done using plain plastic cards. Some of it was doubled up to give it extra thickness, little tiny strips for the vertical support sections, you know, along here. And then I think these here were just little square bits of plastruct that were drilled through with holes, and the railings were little wire, florist wire. I think it was sort of 1 mil or 1.5 mil florist wire that was threaded through those, and then all glued, spray painted, and weathered. So that's the idea that I'm going to go with for the bridge over the road as well. I'll just take you back to the road bridge one more wee minute. So back at the road bridge, these three trucks have been here because I've been trying to test out the clearance. I suppose it's not necessary, but you know, you want to be able to get some vehicles to be able to park on, or to be able to enter underneath the bridge. The little co-op lorry works just about. It's just about the correct clearance, but the BRS parcel services, well, it just brushes the top of it. So what I'm probably going to have to do on this side and this is just to build up a little bit of couple of strips of plastic card just on either side, just to raise it up before we actually start making the plate girder. At the end of the day, everything underneath there is barely going to be seen, so if I can, we can do it nicely enough that it'll look as if it was all part of the original design plan. So what else? Beyond that, I really haven't done an awful lot in the layout. I've had a little bit of a running session with some trains, and oh, actually the other thing was Kadee couplings. Let me just take you over to the other side of the layout and I'll just show you some of the things that I've been looking at with the Kadee couplings. Before we take a look at the Kadee couplings, I wanted to show you a couple of things that I got for the layout this month. The first, as you can see in front of you, is the Wills Craftsman's Kit CK19, the goods shed. I've decided to buy this and use it on the branch line for the branch line station. Decided to go for this because it sort of ties in nicely, being a brick building with the station and with the Victorian houses that I got and showed you last month. I figured that the branch line was all built in and around the same time, so all the buildings would probably match in and be of a similar period and style. So this is what we've gone for. 11.75, the model shop did it for a tenner, so I thought that was a good price. So at some point in the future we'll maybe do a little video on the building of this and of the Victorian houses. Now the second item is possibly a little bit more interesting. For a while now I have been looking for another logo for the layout. I wanted a little tank engine that would be used for short freight services between the branch line and the main line station. Two options I had laid out in front of me was a pannier tank and a jinty. So let's roll in the little logo and see which one I went for. And as you can see, I opted for the jinty. This is a Bachmann model 32235 with the running number 47673, and it comes factory weathered. Now in my opinion it's not very heavily weathered. If anything, it's nearly too lightly weathered. I would have liked something with a little bit more grime, and at some point in the future I may well send it off and get it professionally weathered, but in the meantime it's a very nice addition to the layout. One thing that I wasn't aware of whenever I bought it was the difficulty in getting a decoder fitted into this little unit. The space beneath the shell of the logo is, well, it's minuscule to put it bluntly. I had to go for a DCC Concepts nano decoder and shove it all into the boiler. There's a little bit of a space just in the boiler housing here to allow you to store the decoder, but even at that the pins are sitting vertically just around about here, and the gap between the socket and the moulding of the shell is so tight that actually whenever I did fit it, I broke off 3 of the connectors to the decoder. Now we Touch of Solder soon rectified that, but it's just a little warning for anybody who maybe is interested in picking up a similar sort of logo. Be aware, these are extremely tight and quite difficult to fit. But anyway, at some point through this video you'll probably see this little logo running on the layout, but in the meantime we'll go back and take a look at those Kadees. Okay, so Kadee couplings. The two coaches at the front, the blue-grey coaches at the front, have got the standard tension lock couplings that come with them on, whenever you purchase them. These are both Bachmann logos, and as you can see, the gap between the corridors, it's probably about 4 or 5 millimeters. That's something that I've just never been that happy with. Whenever I was designing the layout, all the corners or all the curves on the track, I don't think are anything below a 21-inch radius, so I knew I could probably sort of bring that gap in a little bit. So if I take these out of shot, and in the background is my Class 47, and it's hauling, it's already been set up with the Kadees. And if I bring it forward, let's bring it forward. It's got 3 coaches with Kadee couplings connected to it. Now, as you can see, if we zoom in a little bit closer, the gap between the corridor connections, we're down to about 1-2 millimeters tops on that, and this is something that I was trying to achieve with these Kadee couplings. Now, I've been doing a few, as I said, I've been doing a little bit of a running session, and I've been doing some testing with these couplings, and on the whole they seem to be working okay. One of the things I have found is that I am going to have to use a mixture of size 18 and 19, and possibly, is there a 20? I think there maybe is a longer one again, of the Kadees. And it just depends on the type of coach that you've got as to what coupling that you're going to be able to attach onto that, because it just needs to come out enough to get beyond the buffers, or to just give you that clearance so that it connects with the coach behind it. So it's still a work in progress, but as it stands at the minute, I'm very, very happy with the way the Kadees are going. Certainly the little short couplings on any of my kit built wagon stock, the likes of the 16-ton Miller wagons, or the meat vans, those sort of things there, the little short couplings are working a dream on it. So it's just a matter of starting to gather up some of these couplings and converting over all my stock, and just doing little tests, running tests to make sure that everything operates smoothly and we're not getting any sort of derailments, as buffers connect against each other. One of the other things I had to do was to buy the little alternating pliers that the Kadee company supply, and it just allows you to bend up the little metal. Do you see the little this little metal hook? Well, that's it. Whenever it comes to the uncoupling side of things, if that goes over a magnet, it swings the coupling out so it disconnects the two coaches. In the case of my Code 75 track, I'm having to just bend those up a little bit, because whenever they go over some of the points at the particular point work, they do foul on that and cause a derailment. But other than that, no issues. And in my opinion, if we can bring this one back into line here, I'm going to get to see it. Can we get a before and after? In my opinion, what's at the rear looks an awful lot better than what's at the front. So there we are. I think that's really it for this month. Like I say, most of the time has been spent on bridge building. But, you know, it's all part and parcel of it. You need to get all these little bits and pieces done before you can move on with some of the quicker aspects of the modelling. So I'll crack on with some more of that, and hopefully next month I'll have some more scenic work to show you, maybe even have some static grass down. Who knows? I think actually between now and next month I may well sort of post a very short video on the making of that plate girder bridge, if anyone's interested in seeing that. If you are, sort of drop me a comment in the section below, and I can put together a wee video as to how I go about building that. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. Thanks for your continued support. At the time of recording, I think I'm about 8 or 9 subscriptions off the 300 mark. So I mean, it's fantastic, and you know, perhaps maybe if I ever hit that 500 mark, I have a few things in mind that I would like to sort of do as a little bit of a giveaway. But I mean, that's a long way off, of course. Let's get to the 300 first. But thank you for all those subscriptions. Thank you for all the comments on my previous couple of videos. They really are greatly appreciated. Your support is fantastic, and we'll chat soon. Okay, see you soon. Bye.